There are three levels of self-improvement. Level one is the enlightenment phase. That's the phase when you realize just how much your life can change and how much power you actually have in changing your life. But you obviously still rely very heavily on step-by-step details on how to do things. How do I go to the gym? What exercises should I do? How often should I go to the gym? How do I track my calories? Should I go on a bulk? Should I go on a cut? How to build a routine? How to actually start being consistent. You rely on those videos to tell you what to do. But the enlightenment phase is incredible. It's just progress on progress because you weren't really doing anything to begin with, right? You started literally at level 0 and everything you're doing, you're just learning things quick. And it's so exciting because it's literally like a video game, and the progress projection, or what is it, trajectory, the trajectory is very linear, right? Like every day you're just building and building and building, and the progress is just like this. Stage 2 is the awkward phase, and that's the phase a lot of us get stuck in, because you obviously now know the things you need to be doing. You're aware, you've sort of built a consistency, but the enlightenment phase is over. The honeymoon phase is completely over. Like, it's not exciting anymore to be like, oh, I'm waking up to go to the gym, I'm gonna lift some weights, and then I'm gonna see muscle gained within like the next 2 weeks. None of that. The beginner gains are gone, and everything else in your life has a similar look to it. The trajectory is no longer linear. It's choppy now, and it's becoming more difficult. You understand what you should be doing. You really want to be consistent, but like your consistency is very choppy. You want to take your mentality to the next level. You really want to get to that next level where you're just consistent, like consistent over a long period of time, and not to see life-changing results. But you struggle with that. You really struggle with your mentality because now you're being tested. You're no longer relying on the high of like, oh, wow, look at how much is there for me in life. Because now you've become numb to it, right? You know what you should be doing, and you know what that can get you. You've become awakened to this new life you could have, but the effect, the motivation is kind of gone. Now you really need to dig deep in yourself and find a real reason to keep going. That wave is over. And that awkward phase is really difficult, and it is self-improvement hell, because unlike when you didn't know the things you should have been doing in order to build the life, you didn't know about this new life you could build, you didn't know about all the things you should be doing to get there. So you were kind of just doing all the bad habits, and it was just life, right? But now you know the things you should be doing, you know what's out there for you, but you're still doing the bad habits like you were before, and it's literally hell, because you're doing the bad habits, you can't stop yourself from doing them, but you know you shouldn't be doing them, and you know that life could be so much better, and you tear yourself apart inside for it. Stage 3 is the autonomous phase. This is the phase we all want to get to. This is where self-improvement is no longer something you thinking about practically, something you're getting in your head about. It's simply a way of life. You're fully embodied the identity of somebody who lives a certain way. You no longer need to worry about, oh, am I following my routine? Oh, you're not tracking calories anymore. You're not watching looks maxing videos, bro. Like, you're literally like, you picture any of the people you look up to, whether it's like an athlete like Ronaldo, or if it's like a TV character like Harvey Specter, Tommy Shelby, whatever it is, or even if it's like a let's say Tate, right? Let's say the people like that, like, they're not waking up busy thinking about, oh, I need to do this at this time, and this at this time, and then I need to make sure I do my journaling at this time, I need to do my meditations. No, right? They have a purpose in their life that drives them. Like, they're fully focused on that purpose, and that's what they wake up for, and they carry on going at that. All other things they're doing in their life, they should be doing them, and they are doing them, right? Because they keep consistent. They have a specific mentality, and their consistency is unmatched. But if you skip a day of gym for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world. You're not looking at your tracker being like, oh, I was on a nice 2-month streak and now it's dropped. You're not looking at that, right? But also they do just go to the gym because it's just good for you, and it's part of your routine. But your purpose is what drives you, and self-improvement, you've escaped self-improvement hell, because now it's just a part of your identity. You've embodied the person who does those certain things, and it's just, you don't even think, you literally don't even think about it. To use an analogy I learned a while ago from Hamza, is that it's no longer the awkward phase. Stage 2 feels like you're swimming upstream, it's really difficult. You're fighting against yourself, really trying to do the good things. Stage 3 is like you're swimming downstream, literally everything works with you, and you're able to take your mentality and your career, or whatever it is you're working on, right? You're able to take that to the next level because you're not focusing. You're not waking up in the morning wrestling with yourself about whether or not you should get out of bed and go to the gym. You know, you just go, right? And your mentality and your mental energy is actually focused on doing focused on your purpose, and that you can take to the next level because all that energy is focused towards that. That is absolute bliss. Now, I've spoken before about the lonely phase and self-improvement and how you need to learn to build your social skills in order to get out of that. Now, the glaring issue you will come up against, or the obstacle you will face when you're trying to do this, is you realize very quickly social situations can be awkward, both from other people's side and from your side. It can just be awkward, and there's a learning curve. And when it comes to building your social skills, again, there are 3 levels to this, literally the same thing. There's the enlightenment phase, right? That's where you realize, oh, like, I can actually build my social skills. I'm not like an introvert who just can never speak to people at all. Like, I can actually build and go out there and speak to people. And again, it's very nice because the trajectory is very linear, right? You go out there, you speak to people, you get better. The next time you're better, right? And it's exciting because it's like this whole new world is opened up to you. Like, you've realized, oh, I can be the extrovert, right? Then you get to stage 2, which is the awkward phase again, right? The awkward phase now, in terms of social situations, is that you're no longer like in the enlightenment phase where you need like all these step-by-step guides on like how to do things. Like, how do you go up and speak to a person? What do you say? Like, you don't need that anymore. Like, you know it, right? You studied books on like, you know, how to have how to do like psychological books on like how to have good conversations and stuff like that. You've studied that. Like, you've really studied social situations. You've watched videos of like, say you want to learn how to like pick up girls, and say you've watched those videos and like you've learned like certain things. Like, you're studying social situations just in general, and now you're trying to apply them. But the issue is that you're not able to get into your flow, right? Similar to the self-improvement stage 2, is that like you're fighting against yourself. It's like you're swimming upstream, right? You're too in your head to really be like in your social flow. And you know what you should be, you've become too mechanical, right? And how you look at social situations. You're like, oh, okay, I need, like, you're analyzing, bro. You're analyzing people so much. You've learned that, like, oh, if someone does this and that, or if they use this tone of voice, like, oh, it means a certain thing. And like, now you're analyzing everything and you're just going crazy because like you're literally too much in your head. And I think that's what stage 2 can be summed up in, right? That's the phrase that can be summed up in, is that like, you're too much in your head, right? And it's difficult to get into your flow. But then stage 3 is when you finally get out of your head. You've entered the autonomous phase, where you're just in your social flow. Like, when you go to social situations, you're not overthinking anything. You literally you've got the skills, right? And you've learned to get out of your head. You've built a good identity for yourself and a good self-image. And now when you speak, it's just you're just having a good conversation, right? If you don't want to talk to someone, you don't want to talk to them. You're not like in stage 2 when you're in that. It's like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person, but is it an opportunity for me to actually learn like how to like build more skills or whatever? Or, you know, if you're having an awkward conversation with someone, like in stage 2, you're kind of like trying to figure out like, how do I make this not awkward? What can I say? You know, how do I deal with this awkward silence? In stage 3, you're kind of just like, you know, like conversation is flowing. I'm not feeling it, and then you kind of just move on, right? Like, that's the difference. You're not too in your head. Like, now it's just flowing, and you spend time like in conversations that stimulate you. Like, you have fun with them. I think that's another thing. Stage 2 is just typified by you being too much in your head and trying to get to a certain goal, right? You've learned too much. You've become too mechanical and too logical with like how things are supposed to be, that you lose the fun of the situation. But then when you get to level 3, you toss that to the side. You've got the skills now. It's just, you're in flow, you're enjoying it. Like, you're not too insecure about everything now. Like, you're not thinking about, oh, did I say that the right way? Or they laughed, but the laugh was kind of weird. Was it a forced laugh? Like, bro, you're not looking at any of that stuff. Like, you're just in flow. And I think, yeah, those are the 3 stages. Now, I've explained the three stages. You might have understood like how you can jump from level 2 to level 3. But just as a blanket statement, really, the way you jump to there is an identity shift, right? Again, you need to stop being so in your head. Once you've spent enough time in stage 2, you've got the skills, bro. Like, you know what you need to be doing. You don't need to be looking, you don't need to be watching any more videos, you don't need to watch any more pickup videos, you need to watch any more videos on like how to have a good conversation. You know what you need to do, right? Just go out there and just have fun. Like, literally just have fun. Don't forget like the reason like you're doing this. Like, it's a social situation. Go out there and have fun. Get rid of like your insecurity. Stop being so worried about yourself. Like, bro, it really doesn't matter. Like, you're fine. That's all you need to remember. Just chill. And your identity. It's all about building your identity, and I've made so many videos, bro, this year. So many videos on changing your identity that you can go find on my channel. But you really need to change your identity and embody the identity of somebody who would be in level 3 as I described. You can pick whoever that is. I think the best thing you can do is probably like build a version of yourself in your mind that is like that level 3 like social skills guy or self-improvement guy, where they're not in their head too much and they're kind of just in flow. Build that identity in your head and then embody that, right? Do the visualizations every day of seeing yourself being that kind of person, and then get into flow. And then that's how you learn. That's how you jump from level 2 to level 3. But let me know what you guys think of the topic in the comment section below. Make sure you hit subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you boys.